Welcome to the Sweet Sparrow Knits podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, sewing, hand dyeing yarn, general craftiness. So welcome. You can find me on Ravelry. Oh, I'm Julie. Hi. You can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, and Periscope as Julie Rose Sews. And you can find me on Etsy. You can find my hand-dyed yarn at sweetsparrowyarns.etsy.com. I have a little co-host today. This is Bucky, my baby. He's so cute. Cat beard. So if you hear purring, that's the Buckster. Isn't he so sweet? He's such a love. Yes. Yes. So let's see, this past week has been pretty crazy with work. So I haven't had a lot of time to knit. This little guy. I haven't had a lot of time to knit, but I do have some knitting. Okay, I'm gonna put you down next to me. So I guess we'll hop right into the knitting. So this is my first completed Tulsi sock. This pattern is by Verena of the Wool Club, and I knit this in the Fawn and the Fox, Laura's Raven base, and the Grand Budapest colorway. So this is my first one, and it is finished. And the heels, toes, and cuffs, well, I guess that's singular for all of those because there's only one sock. But the heel, toe, and cuff are in Knit Picks Stroll Tweed and the Barn Door Heather colorway. Look at that Eye of Partridge heel. Oh, I'm so pleased with it. So I finished my first sock and I absolutely love it. It is soft and squishy. I think this is going to be incredibly cozy in the winter, and I just love how the stitch pattern shows off all the beautiful colors in Laura's yarn. So pretty. So when I finished that sock, I had such an urge to cast on Halloween socks. I think it was just like seeing everybody's Halloween socks coming up on Instagram, and the fact that I've been dyeing Halloween yarn, but I haven't cast on any Halloween socks. I really just felt like I needed to get in the spirit and cast on some socks. So I cast on just some plain vanilla socks. This is my I'm a Mouse, duh, colorway on my Nuthatch base. And obviously this is inspired by Mean Girls. And the toe is my Peach Fizz colorway on my Magpie base. I'm really, really happy with how this is knitting up. I'm just going to do my standard afterthought heel. Yeah, I'm just working along on those. I had mentioned a couple episodes back that I was having issues with my Carbons needles. So I did order some new needles to try out. And these are the Knitter's Pride Nova Platina needles in a size 2 US, and I knit my socks on 2 circulars, so I have 2 16-inch circulars. So far so good. There's a little bit of drag on them, like a little bit more than I noticed with the Carbons, which is weird because they're metal, so you wouldn't think there would be drag, but I don't know, maybe there's just like a rough spot or something, but there's something causing it to kind of catch. But overall, I'm really enjoying them. And it's definitely less irritating than having my needles come apart, so there's that. Yeah, so I'll let you know more what I think about these when I've knit a little bit more on them. Half a sock isn't really enough for me to feel like I have a completely formed opinion about these needles, but I'm really excited about these socks, and I can't wait to wear them this fall. I keep trying them on and they're so cozy. I haven't knit a plain vanilla sock in quite some time. And there's something about it that's very like soothing and comforting. I knit them in bed a lot, or if I'm on the train and I just don't have anything left in terms of brain power, they're really good for that. My next work in progress is my Scrumptious Memories quilt. This is the Pinwheel Scrap Blanket by Mina Phillip. And by the way, congratulations, Mina! I'm so excited for you and Perry. I can't imagine two people who would be more wonderful parents. So congratulations, and I'm so happy for you. Anyway, this is Mina's pattern, the Pinwheel Scrap Blanket, and I am knitting this out of sock yarn scraps and mini skeins. So I'm just working on the same square I was working on last week. This hasn't gotten a ton of knitting on it this week. I think because I just had like such a sock fever happening. But I'm very, very happy with how this square is looking. This is one of my favorites so far in terms of color combinations. So next on my needles, obviously I have like a sock thing happening. I want to obviously make my second Tulsi sock. I want to finish my I'm a mouse, duh, socks. I can't not say it like that. I don't feel like there's a way to say I'm a mouse, duh. Oh, these are my I'm a mouse, duh socks. That's like, what are you saying? Anyway, so next on my needles, kind of coincides with shop news, but not completely. So I have decided to expand my yarns in Sweet Sparrow yarns into self-striping colors. I love self-striping yarns. I find that a lot of them are a little bit too bright for me. I love to look at them. They're like very exuberant and beautiful, but because the color palette of what I wear tends to be a little bit more muted, I thought, hey, maybe there's a place for somebody's motorcycling at 6 a.m. I thought maybe there's a place for kind of softer, more muted colors in self-striping yarn. So this is my first colorway. This is Ice Cream Shop. And the colors in this are Strawberry, which is this pretty pink with darker pink speckles. Mint Chocolate Chip, which is the mint green and it has brown speckles in it. Dutch Chocolate, which is the brown. And Vanilla Bean, which is the cream. So I want to, this is the first skein that I've dyed of self-striping, and I want to knit with it before I start offering it in my shop because I want to make sure I'm happy with the number of rows that I'm getting of each color. So yeah, I'm hoping to cast on some socks with this hopefully in the next week. So then after that, I can start dyeing it up for the shop. And thank you guys so much for all of your wonderful responses on Instagram. I did share a sneak peek of this, and you guys are so sweet, and I'm so excited that so many of you are excited for sort of soft colors of self-striping. So that will be in my shop probably within the next 3 weeks or so. I'm hoping to maybe dye some yarn over the long weekend coming up in the US. Next weekend is Labor Day weekend, so I have a long weekend. I have that Monday off of work, so I may dye yarn at that time, or it kind of depends. I will be getting a rather large tattoo on my thigh that Friday. It's booked for 5 hours. That's a long time of tattooing. So I may not be up for dyeing yarn next weekend. It may be the weekend after that. We'll see. What I'm watching, I guess I'm basically watching all the same stuff that I was last time. In terms of what I'm watching at home, I'm still watching Elementary. I'm still watching Wentworth. Those two are both pretty intense, gritty shows, so I find that I can only kind of watch one of them at a time. Like, I can't switch between binge watching episodes of each of them. It's just too much. I have to intersperse it with podcasts and like lighter stuff because they're a little intense. But yesterday, Rob and I went to the movies, which is so fun. I love going to the movies, you guys. There's just nothing better than being in a room full of people, knowing that you're all kind of having that same emotional experience with a movie. We're all so involved in our own things, and we're all always looking at our phones, kind of in our own little worlds. It's really nice to feel like you have a common focus with a group of people, even if it's just for a movie. So Rob and I went to go see Kubo and the Two Strings. Oh, you guys, it was so good. It was so good. It is a stop motion animation movie about a little boy who, his family has a mysterious past, and that's all I'll say because I don't want to spoil anything. But it is such a wonderful movie. You should definitely go see it. It's ostensibly a children's movie, but as an adult, I definitely found that the themes in it resonated with me, and it was just great. It was just great. I actually can't wait to get it when it comes out for, I guess, do we say on DVD anymore? Do things come out on DVD anymore? Whatever. However I can purchase it, I cannot wait to purchase it. It's a wonderful movie. It's visually absolutely stunning. I would recommend this movie if you like movies like Coraline, where there's quite a creepy element, as well as kind of a similar animation style. So definitely check it out. It's wonderful and so inspiring. What I'm reading, I am working my way through A Clash of Kings. It's a long book. It's a long audio book. So I am on, I think, chapter like 60 out of 70. So I'm almost done with it. I haven't decided yet whether I'm immediately going to go into the next Game of Thrones book or whether I'll give myself a little break from it. On one hand, again, it's pretty intense, so I feel like I could use a break with something kind of lighter and fluffier to listen to. But at the same time, I feel that if I take a break from it, it's going to take me a while to come back. And I want to make sure that I remember what's going on. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. As I said, work has been pretty crazy this week, so I haven't had a lot of time to read anything else. So the next Sweet Sparrow Yarns update will be Tuesday, August 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here's what will be in the update. Just to give you guys a heads up, the Halloween colorways will probably be available for maybe 2 more updates after this one, and then after that, that'll be it for the Halloween colorways for this year. So if that's something that you're hoping to get, definitely, you know, just be cognizant that they're not going to be around for a lot longer. Oh my god, it's really hot. But with that being said, if it gets to be like past Halloween and you realize that you really want one of the Halloween colors for something, just let me know and you can do a custom order. That's totally fine. But yeah. Okay, so Bucky is helping me here. Right, Buckster? Right, baby face? Look at this baby. Look at this baby. Did you guys hear him purring? He loves to look right at your face. He's very interactive. Right, Bucky? Are you a sweet baby? Look at the size of this guy. He is a substantial cat. Okay, Buckster. Okay, so there will be 3 skeins of the Great Pumpkin on my house wren base. So helpful, that Bucky. There will be 2 skeins of Banshee on my nuthatch base. There will be 3 skeins of Banshee on Magpie. I'm so excited about how Banshee looks on Magpie. There, you can really see the sparkle. I'm so happy with how that looks. There's something just a little bit more magical about adding the sparkle. And there will be 3 skeins on Gosling. And I'm a mouse, duh. There will be 3 skeins on Nuthatch, as well as 4 skeins on Magpie. And I'm really happy with how the sparkle looks in this one too. I feel like that's something that's very very Karen from Mean Girls, to have some gold sparkle. And there will also be 4 of my Halloween hatchling sets available. And these are my 20-gram hatchling mini skeins, which are my nuthatch base. I'm also introducing a new colorway this week. So this is Tea and Cake. It's still a little bit damp, so the skein is not the neatest skein. But it's this sort of brown toned pink with a soft kind of toast brown and dark brown speckles throughout. This is a colorway I've had in mind for a while, and I was really excited to be able to dye it up for this week. So there will be 3 skeins of Tea and Cake on Nuthatch, 3 skeins on Gosling, and 3 skeins on Magpie. There has not been any Miss Honey in the shop for a little while on my fingering weight basis, so I decided to dye up Miss Honey for this update. And there will be 3 skeins on Nuthatch. There will also be 2 skeins on House Wren. Those skeins are still drying, so there just wasn't much point in me showing you a wet skein of yarn, but it's the same colorway, just on my tweed base. There will be 2 skeins of Garden Rose on Gosling, as well as 2 skeins of Garden Rose on Nuthatch. And 2 skeins of Robin's Egg on House Wren. And that is it for this week. Next week there will be a giveaway. I very generously was gifted a wonderful new pattern, and I was also gifted a copy to give to you guys. So stay tuned for more info on that. And that will also be a giveaway with a skein of my Tea and Cake yarn, because it is a tea themed sock pattern. and hopefully I will have more knitting content next week if work is a little bit more calm this week. And I should also have some sewing content next week because over Labor Day weekend I am hoping to make my costume for the New York Renaissance Fair. I'm very excited to work on that. I'm going to have some sewing to do. I'm planning on making a white gauzy off the shoulder top, a long green either velvet or brocade skirt, and then I have some gorgeous tooled leather that I bought while I was in college, while I was in my leather work course, and it is gray with pale yellow accents, and it's tooled in a pattern of acorns and oak leaves, and I'm going to use that to make either a wide sort of contoured belt or an underbust corset, depending on whatever I feel like, I guess. I guess that's what it's depending on. So yeah, I'm really excited to show that to you guys too. I hope you have a wonderful week, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye!